Hey, RPM Trade Vietnam in this bitch. Hey, whew, it's been a long, had a long weekend. Um, Still recovering from my little back pains. Been feeling it a little bit. Can't seem to shake this shit. Every time it seems like it's getting better and I'm normal, I'll make the wrong slight little movement, or I'll do something. Boom, there it is again. I can kind of feel that pain. So it even kind of went. The pain went down my right leg a little bit last week, and that kind of freaked me out a little bit. That must be like a pinched nerve, a sciatic nerve, whatever the fuck you call that shit. I don't know. But I might have to stop trying to walk it off and then go get some professional eyes and hands on the shit so I can see what's really going on. What up, Engineer X? Yo, if y'all don't know who San Joaquin Valley Transparency is, check that YouTube channel out. They do a lot of First Amendment auditing or the police, simple stuff, and not just him. Other videos that he highlights too. He likes magnifying the fact that it is a common understanding in this relationship between the people and the police. It's a common understanding on our side that they are given this weird level of authority, and very often they don't even deserve it because they don't even know what the First Amendment is, or even real clearly what the Second Amendment is. And if they think they know what the Second Amendment is, they're only going to revert back to what the magical paper in their state says. They won't know on a constitutional level what's going on, because really we are watching constitutional fellows get away be ignored because each state gets to choose what they want. This is what I'm saying. It's a half-ass bullshit illusion of authority and protection when they say that the Second Amendment and the rest of the Constitution is to be defended against foreign and domestic enemies, because nobody's going to fuck with that shit. They talk like that's what they mean, but they don't mean that shit. San Joaquin Valley Transparency does a good job of showing, like I said, that it's common in America, more common than you would think, that us on this side recognize that something is wrong, and when we call them out, we prove ourselves to be exactly right and are suspicious. That these motherfuckers don't even know what the fuck they talking about. They got everybody's life in their hands with these government guns pointed in everybody's faces, and they don't even know what the First Amendment is. This is wild to me. It should be a disqualifier. If you call a cop out and say, yo, man, what's the First Amendment? And then they dodge the question or fuck up the answer, they don't even try. Very often in these videos, man, they walk off, man, they don't even know what's going on. They try to act like different things that you are doing is suspicious activity, when in reality, whatever you can see with your eyes while you're in a public place and you're legal to be there, you can also be there with the camera. The camera doesn't change it from being normal, regular conduct and expectations of the public. Then it turns into suspicious activity to them. Fuck that shit. It's not suspicious activity. You know what's suspicious? Motherfucker going from human being to superhuman with a fucking cop uniform and a fucking badge, as if somehow something changed and now you're my fucking boss. No, the fuck you not, and you know you not. You know you not. You know you're not my boss. You know you're not. You gotta revert back to a whole bunch of bullshit writings and shit to try to explain what made you think you was my boss, but all in all, or we was all out here naked, or we never conceived of this fucking government bullshit, or the police were conceived of in a different way and not based in this fucking racist foundation that it came from. If none of that was true, then we'd have a different story. But we got only the story that we got to deal with, and I get to call that shit what the fuck I want to call it, period. And what I'm gonna call it is exactly what it is that I know that I'm looking at, undebatable. Cops are bad. Every single one of them, because of the definition of what it takes to be a police officer, is bad, and it makes everybody who jumps into that lane also bad. Period. No way out of it. Nazi soldiers had good table manners and they were nice to German kids. maybe even all kids. And they might have had a soft spot in their heart where they go, we don't hurt no kids out here. We grown fucking men. Fuck, I need to hurt a child for. You might even be able to find a Nazi. I meant Nazi if I said Russian, because now I got Russian in my mind. Did I say Russian? Nazis, Nazi soldiers. Yeah, they had polite sides to them. You can find them being what it is that you would expect or wish every human being to be. But the problem is, just like the police here, just like the U.S. government here, I don't give a fuck what it is good that they might do. There's deal breakers, and the deal breakers are so serious that we can throw the other good shit out. We can throw that shit out with throw the baby out with the bathwater. Yeah, you can, because all of the good shit that the cops do is really the duty of every able-bodied man. There's no way here. There's a woman right here walking on the sidewalk. If some guy ran up to her and like pushed her down, like tried to take her purse or do something or whatever, and she was fighting back, man, any grown man watching that shit, armed or not, you're supposed to get out there and do something. And you might even get your ass hurt or killed for it. It shouldn't even matter. You shouldn't even stop to think about it. And what would it look like if 5 grown men were kind of standing around, 3 of them had their phones out recording, 2 of them were calling the fucking police, but none of them did anything? It would be fair for you to look at those guys and go, y'all some pussies, bruh. This girl dying while y'all calling the police and recording. Y'all are crazy. If everybody know that there'd be something wrong with that, then you need to not only encourage every man to stand up in those kinds of situations, you need to empower them by saying, if you're the hero, don't be scared, bring that gun with you. If you're the hero and this motherfucker's doing wrong and he is bad, you do what you think the cop would have done. Because that walk of life carries a responsibility that belongs to everybody. And I think that's weird to me that y'all try to, in a world like this, that y'all will say, let's designate that line of thinking and how to approach security in public. Let's leave that for other guys and not for you guys. I think that's dumb. You should be raising these boys growing up telling them that it's their fucking fault if somebody in earshot of them is crying for help and they don't fucking do nothing. That it's their fucking fault because it was the last chance for this person to be saved. And if they end up dying, especially, I don't know why you would want to protect a grown man's feelings by saying, hey man, that's not your fault, that wasn't your business. I think that's fucking stupid, because it's not the cops' business either. Y'all make it his job, and then all of a sudden magically employment becomes a moral reason why someone should save somebody. I think y'all got the game fucked up, bro. I think y'all really doing. Law enforcement is an illusionary interference. It totally disrupts what it is that's supposed to be, man, so that y'all can trade your security for freedom, because this is also going to be a pivot that they're going to stand on, that law enforcement is going to protect you. Y'all talking about defund the police, which I think is a dumb idea. Don't defund them. I say rearrange what it is that they think that they're supposed to be doing. I wouldn't take money from them, though. They might actually need more money. And I think the money that they get actually should be voluntarily funded when the people speak by voting with their dollars to fund certain things that we find important. And I think that if you told people, hey, buy these guns, it's strongly recommended that you take like some classes. Be serious about this, because you gotta forever be reminded that if you fuck up with a gun accidentally or intentionally and you become the problem and not the solution, we are going to fuck your life up. Someone's going to fuck your life up because you can't do that. But as long as you can keep that shit cool and you playing the hero role, bro, we need all heroes hands on deck right now. Kids to be in traffic and all this type of shit. We cannot be sleeping on this shit by designating this kind of heroism for law enforcement when we know that they are only people. They are capable of being fucking crooked. They form gangs and all type of racial fucking divisions inside of that fucking uniform so they can hide there, just like they do when they hide when they are also helping to traffic the drugs and the children. They are not special. They are not gods. We need to stop leaning on this idea like that somehow they're special. You know what's special? The raw nature of a protective man is special. We need to harbor that any place we find it and then call it to the forefront, because the world is on fucking fire, you fucking pussies. That's what's supposed to happen. It sounds better because it is better. We're doing this all the wrong way, and this dependency and this illusion of authority has gotten people to divorce their own natural responsibilities and desires, because some of y'all want to be the heroes. Some of y'all do feel like me. Y'all see the news and y'all see this other shit. And sometimes I literally drop a tear or two in frustration, because sometimes things happen and I be so fucking disappointed that the world seems to be violent, unnecessarily violent, unnecessarily hopeless, because there's hope for all of this shit. We don't have overcrowding of the world. The world is not overpopulated. What we have is mismanagement of resources, including human resources, and whoever's managing this shit is fucking it up and pointing all the fucking fingers away from themselves and into everybody else's fucking faces, but it's their fault. Mismanagement. We got no problem with the oil. Oil is all over the place, and we're constantly discovering the fucking oil. Who knows where more oil will be found later on? It's not a fucking crisis. I don't want to fucking hear it. The electric car thing is a fucking sham. That's some fucking bullshit. I'm not that fucking smart, but I goddamn know there's smoother ways to do this energy shit than what we're doing. I know, and I don't even know that much. I've heard some things and seen some things and seen a few YouTube videos, seen a couple fucking articles. You can follow up real easy. You find a dope YouTube video or TikTok that sparks your curiosity, start looking, man. Google some shit, bro. Get into a search engine and start typing in things. Anything from patent numbers that you find about weather control and weather modification technology, all the way up to different methods of free energy and other shit. If you do this shit, you're going to realize that if you can find information on these things so easily, that people who anchor their entire fucking lives on managing the resources and being so fucking super duper smartsy fartsy about renewable energy, nuclear energy, and what that really has to offer the world, of course they got to make the shit explode. You give them something, they say, how can we weaponize this? We went from fucking making airplanes 100 and some years ago to putting a bomb on it. How long did that take? For us to fly into the air and put a fucking bomb on it. Retards. Retards. That you watch the same arm of control do all of these things. And then when I say that other shit that they have that could be beneficial will be used to weaponize you and then benefit them mostly. And if they got to throw you a fucking crown to make you grateful and dependent on what it is that they have given you, you will suck government dick because they did something kind of cool. Maybe when somebody else could have did that under other circumstances, they're not special. And then all of the bad shit becomes deal breakers. And y'all let that shit slide because welfare? Fuck out my life. Get the fuck out of my life with that shit. Idiots. Dumb. All you got to do is just say what it is that you're dealing with and then be honest. And if you can imagine a better method in doing these things, you got to start holding them accountable for fucking it up because you're not smarter than them. How they getting away with shit? Dropping the ball all the time. Oops, sorry. Oops, sorry. 2 bombs in Japan. Oops, sorry. They tried to stop them from dropping the second one. They went, yo, stop. Man, fuck that. Push the button. And that's what they did. They said, man, fuck all that. They tried to surrender after that first one. I don't gotta like none of this stuff. I don't gotta like nothing they do. Even when they do something good, I can say, fuck you and your goodness that you're trying to pacify me with. If I can imagine us conceiving of the same thing or maybe better without you, I'm not going to thank you for that, man. It's crazy. I would not thank a doctor that shoots me in the hospital, saves my life, just to prove that he can save a life with an injury like this. I wouldn't be like, thanks for saving me. I'll say, fuck you for shooting me. I don't even care that you saved me. You're not going to trap me in that? Let's start at the beginning of the story. You shot me? Fuck you. I don't thank a state like Iowa for going constitutional carry about 3 or 4 years ago. 3 years ago. Constitutional carry? The Constitution was like fucking 242 years old when y'all did this. Y'all just not going to constitutional carry. And y'all want me to thank the election process and my public servants and the fact that this is now where we are. Y'all didn't do nothing to hold the state of Iowa and all this law enforcement and everybody inside this law society. Y'all didn't do nothing to hold them responsible when they were wrong, operating under some bullshit all of that time. Because when y'all changed it to constitutional carry, y'all thought that this is the best way to project onto the people a true reflection of the Constitution and how the Second Amendment shit is supposed to go. Y'all changed it. So what did that mean beforehand? That with a government gun in everybody's faces, y'all were barking fucking orders and making threats while y'all were wrong as fuck. And I'm supposed to be okay with that. That's retarded, because I'm not. And we don't have to be. There's a process here. U.S. Title 18, Section 241 and 242 says you're supposed to express these grievances to government, free to do so. That's part of the First Amendment, that you get to tell them, hey, yo, you fucked up, and I'm going to spell it out to you in ways that you understand that you fucked it up. And then you guys are going to eat each other, too. Go for it. Bon appetit, motherfucker. They supposed to be arresting each other and all that shit, and they'll never do that. They won't police themselves. But U.S. Title 18, Section 241 and 242 says, not even under the color of law can you violate natural law or what that Constitution intended. Even if it made its way to law status, it doesn't matter. If you realize that this is what has happened, now you got to measure the damage that was caused while y'all were in the midst of being fucking wrong about this magical Constitution that state by state, y'all can't agree on. That means that somebody's wrong right now in front of everybody. And nobody's holding that domestic part of that all enemies foreign or domestic. Y'all not really standing on that shit. That makes everybody in violation too. You failed your oath of office, everyone. The state of Iowa is watching the state of fucking Washington fuck it up how that Constitution is supposed to go, because these two states are very different on gun ownership and all of this other type of shit. But y'all think that wishy-washy bullshit that changes when different politicians get placed or somehow find their way through blackmail and bribery and all type of shit, are finding their way into these fucking offices, man. And in such a subjective way, y'all make very serious changes to something that I thought was undebatable. And the state of Washington could look like the state of Iowa in 10 years. Who knows? It might change. And people find hope in the fact that it can't change, instead of blaming them for all the time that they've been wrong, and how the mismanagement will leave us in a perpetual state of falling into error about something that deserves a fucking fight. They think that you deserve death if they turn them fucking lights on to stop your car and you don't stop. They instantly, they know that whatever it is that's making you run better not cost them any pain or their lives. Because if it even looks like that might be what the case is at all, they don't give a fuck about the initial reason why they fucking turn the lights on. They don't give a fuck about why it is that you seem to be running or trying to elude them. None of it matters. It becomes a stop your car or we're going to fucking kill you. They don't give a fuck if a high-speed chase gets themselves killed. They take the risk. Stop ignoring what it is that they're saying when they take these actions. There's some implications here, consciously or subconsciously, that I think that if you say it out loud, you'll start feeling the way I feel about this shit. The speed gets up to 65 for you. The cop is doing 85 to catch you. You go up to 85. The cop is doing 115, 120 to catch you. He's willing to do things, maybe even pitch you, to spin your car out, shoot the tires out, put the spike strips down. Who knows how that's going to turn out? They're willing to go crazy. And they will do all of this regardless of what the reason was to try to stop you if you try to escape them. They would say this was a $200 citation that initiated all of this conflict between you and law enforcement. And if you run, they chase you. That they will die over that $200 conflict. You might die over the $200 conflict. Maybe somebody who isn't even involved at all. Maybe even some children might die in a $200 conflict that didn't even have a victim in the first place. But yet and still, they will engage you like this. Balls to the wall. No playing no games with your ass. Because your license is suspended over a $200 citation that you refuse to pay. And some people say, just pay it and do it. No, fuck that. Fuck that. Fuck that. We already seen it play out before, so you don't need to be trying to encourage people to move forward in their lives like this. We can look at examples in fucking history and use that to illustrate well enough that there's something wrong with the idea of chasing somebody down over a $200 citation because you suspended their license, their contract, to move from A to B when we don't need permission from you motherfuckers who can't pass your own gun background checks. The government is fucking guilty of trafficking children, drugs. They're guilty of crimes against humanity, breaking Geneva codes. They're mass murderers using weapons of mass destruction that they buy with fucking tax-funded, extorted money from the people that they're supposed to be protecting. All of this shit is crazy. They are criminals, and they get to say absolutely nothing to me. I don't respect or care about a goddamn thing that they ever say. And if you find me walking in their graces to stay out of their way, just know it's because I'm scared, not because I like them. They got to scare me to comply with anything at all. Or if you catch me in compliance, it's because I also happen to agree that stealing is wrong. And I don't need them to tell me stealing is wrong according to some statute or code or law or whatever the fuck. I don't need that. You know what lets me know that stealing is wrong? Because I know that another man might have a gun. He's got a right to do that. And if I take his shit, he got a right to fucking stop me. And if I'm armed or I appear to be dangerous or even if the man is just stupid and he's overdoing it, I might get killed. And he'll be in the wrong and go to prison for killing me, but it won't matter because I'd be dead. You take a risk by trying to steal shit from people, and I don't know why that's not enough. And it is. And it is. And I think that when you weaken people with stupid gun laws and shit, people say, well, I know stealing is wrong, but I will run from the cops, avoid the cops. I might not ever even come into contact with police about this, but I will come in contact with my potential victim, and I'm banking on it, hoping that they are unarmed. Because that makes it easier for me. It all becomes a gamble that criminals are willing to take. A criminal shouldn't be worried about facing, 18 months to maybe 36 months or more for robbing me at gunpoint. Fuck that. What he is facing is 18 rounds in his fucking upper deck, because I might mag dump him. He should worry about that if he thinks he's going to rob me. That's a deterrent right there, bro. That's a deterrent right there. And some people say that that's harsh, but that's real fucking life, man. If it's not worth you dying, don't do shit to people. And from that moment on, once I proclaim that to be my disposition in everything that I do and how we're going to interact out here, if it's not worth you dying, don't violate me. And that's the absolute fucking truth. And once I state that and make that very fucking clear, just know that anybody who does try to violate me, I'm going to assume that you bring all of the energy that you was willing to die for because it's that serious to you. And then I'm going to do it to you. Because I don't understand why the fuck else you couldn't tell yourself this story before you decided to rob me or anybody else. You didn't know that you might die for that. I think you know that. I think you accepted the challenge. And then I'll deliver. That's fair as fuck, man. I don't need no cop. If you tell these people that this is how life is going to go, and you encourage all of the good people with the good hearts to be ready to defend themselves and other people against bullies, because sometimes people don't care. They don't value life, and you have to stand up to that shit the way a cop would, but in the moment, don't wait for the cop. And if you tell all the fucking bad guys, don't do this shit, because the chances that you go to jail for this shit is slim. The chances of you dying on the spot by being shot or killed by whoever you're trying to victimize, the chances are high, dude. If you do that, cops will be like, man, y'all can't even call us cops no more, really. We show up to clean up, bro. We don't really be copping nothing. We don't be copping shit. And generally, that's what they do anyway. They're reactionary. This is a big problem, man. It's a big problem with the police. I just had an interview just yesterday. He's going to piece the video together, and then I'm going to share it. Did the video interview with San Joaquin Valley Transparency. The interview went well. I was blowing his mind. This guy thinks that I'm a fucking wise dude. I'm not a genius because I don't know a whole lot of everything, but I am wise. You give me little bits and pieces of information, I can blossom a fucking accurate, articulate fucking big picture out of the smallest fucking things, because all of the details that I do obtain, I know where they go. I know where to place them. And I know that I'm going to place them in places that make it very hard to debate or deny the validity of what it is that I'm saying. I do that well. You can call it wisdom. I think that's what it is. I tell people all the time, I'm not that smart. I'm just observant and fucking honest as fuck about what it is that I know that I'm looking at. Super honest, bro. I don't care if it's scary. I don't give a fuck if it goes against what we've been taught. I don't give a fuck if it implies a responsibility upon other people. I don't give a fuck if you see me painting a picture of the future of a fight for freedom in this country that looks violent, scary, and uncertain. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. I am going to say what it is that I'm looking at. And I don't give a fuck how it makes anybody else feel. I don't give a fuck how it makes me feel. A lot of the frustration and the passion that I have behind what it is that I'm saying is that I know it's calling for responsibility. I know that it's painting this picture of diligent momentum necessary for us to get the freedom that we all deserve. I think we deserve a clear path so that we can observe our own lives, observe the lives of other people, maybe try to fight for a better future for our kids and all this other shit. We got to clear the path. I think it's hard to clear the path if I got to argue and defend my race to somebody. I don't even want to have to defend that shit. Why can't I just be accepted? Why can't you guys really just take all of the bits and pieces of what we got going on and tell a real story? Black people committing more of the fucking crime than other races of people has to be for a reason, or you have to say that by nature, black people tend to be violent and careless in regards to human life. And I just think that's fucking untrue. And I know that it's untrue because how did all of that escape me and I'm black as fuck? Grew up ghetto and all that type of shit. Grew up on food stamps and everything. Nothing in the way that I grew up seeing the gang activity, having uncles and cousins and people go to prison, having people around me and even in my family be killed, murdered, being around little gang bangers in my adolescence and in my teenage years and shit like that. Being around little gang banging niggas and not being a game banger myself, but being affiliated and being around and being in the mix of certain things. But not being there makes you feel like you know the story, but you don't. Because very easily we can get into a minor conflict like kids might get into. And then all of a sudden the conflict turns into all of their friends are willing to back up and maybe even threaten this one or two people that they had an issue with. Those one or two people want to get brothers, cousins, and other friends and go, I'm not going to get jumped or be harassed or bullied by you motherfuckers. Fuck that. We fight back. And then these fight backs, and these battles and shit go on sometimes. Like when we was growing up, one or two of us would get caught lacking by ourselves, and there's 5 or 6 of them. They go, what's all that shit that y'all was talking before? So and so did this to my guy, and then he started making these threats, and we all stood up like, who the fuck is you threatening? So it turns into this, I gotta defend my friend, my brother, my cousin kind of a thing. And when people get to talking tough, they all start stacking up and gathering, saying, hey, what y'all really want to do? What is y'all trying to do to my friend, or to my brother, or to my cousin, man? We're not gonna let y'all do that, especially when somebody was in the wrong and it's obvious. Like, these things tumble into things. We've had people, cousin, friends and shit get jumped. Then motherfuckers start talking, you're not gonna jump me again because I'll bring this gun. And then motherfuckers is out there like, man, we got guns too. Who the fuck you think you talking to? And then motherfuckers have been stabbed and shot in my adolescence through high school friends and cousins and people like that. Shit has happened, but I've always been able to escape that. And when I left Illinois to go to college in Iowa, I've always been smart in school, went to college, changed my environment, been in this environment of this higher learning thing, and all of these kids really trying hard to be intelligent, members of society with careers and goals and financial stability and shit. I've always felt like I deserved that and that I could get that. And I went to college, and when I changed my environment, I totally was engulfed in all of the things, man. The arts, philosophy, watching technology march on, because shortly after my college years, the smartphone came around, and then the social media and shit. And it was cool to go through that progression, but going to college really saved my life, man. It was a good thing, but not everybody can make it out to that. And it's really proven to me in myself. I know what the fuck it is. Of course, there's some personal things and how you raised at home. That helps a fucking bunch. That gives you a foundation, something for that negativity to bounce off of, to contend with, so that you're not so susceptible to that shit. But I got involved in some fucking things, and I'm glad that I changed my environment. And it's an environmental thing, man. Because all of my family and friends, a lot of them family and friends that stayed back home in Illinois, where I was from, they fell victim to this environment, stifling their creativity and their motivation to be better in life. And when I went to college, my life fucking took off in a positive fucking way. And I know it was the environment. It had nothing to do with me, with my race, or even my fucking family history. All of that shit can be contested and challenged successfully with proper environment and all types of things. Fucking working out, proper diet, self-motivation practices that you can do, surrounding yourself with people who are doing what it is that you want to do, but they're doing it well and they're already successful. That helps. If you understand environmental influences and how the mind works, you would have a hard time being a racist. You would know that that's an environmental thing, and that anybody can pick themselves up out of that. And prejudice and racist people say this in this country: pick yourself up by your own bootstraps and blah 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 blah. You can do it. This is your fault. They do that, and then they also at the other side of their mouth go, niggas gonna be niggas. Niggas is just niggas, and there's that black skin. And when I see the black skin, I know what it is that I'm dealing with. Ain't no saving them. I thought you were just telling me that this is my fault, that this didn't work, because I'm in the land of the free, and I could have made this shit work had I created a better environment. Y'all won't even be consistent in what it is that y'all saying, because I hear both things coming out the same fucking mouth of racist and prejudiced people all over the internet and shit. When I see that, I try to engage them in debate. I do. I'm one of them guys. I scroll through some shit, see a racist comment in a fucking post that ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm on you. I'm going to say something and move on. I'm going to try to say something, because if I can spark a different train of thought or call you out on how ignorant you are, I will do that. And hopefully I'll save one racist person to go, well, maybe I'm not racist. Maybe I'm just prejudiced. And maybe I should open my mind a little bit more. And there's a lot of racist and prejudiced people out there, that prejudiced people for sure, because racism is different. That's superiority. Prejudice is saying, I think I know who you are, and I'm going to cast this judgment upon you before you give me a chance to, and it might be hard to make me think any different too. Prejudice people do that, but I know prejudice people that'll say, okay, one by one, I will like black people as I meet them, as they prove themselves to me. I'll like you then. I don't think I'm better than you because I'm white, but I do think that nigga shit, y'all wilding with that, and I don't like it. I think there's some white people that feel like that. I've seen white people that feel like that, you know. But these are the social issues that we have, man, and we can't get past it. If we can't get past this shit, we ain't gonna really look like we deserve the freedom that we asking them for. They think that we're violent fucking children that can't keep our racial shit straight. And then they foster the motion in these social conflicts with their manipulation through all the news and all this other shit, man. Everything. They even use celebrity deaths and human sacrifices. Flat out human sacrifices is what I call the shit, because that's what the fuck it is. Because it's intended to cast a spell onto the people when they do these things, when they can involve it in other social issues. If they can kill a celebrity and melt together gun control, international business, or a racial issue, they will do that and milk it for what it's worth, and all of the energy, power, even financial funding. The woman died the day that Kamala Harris said that she was going to be making a presidential run for it. The day she said that shit out loud, a black woman was killed in her kitchen by a cop, shot in the fucking face. And then Kamala Harris raised how much money the following day in 24 hours? Something like that. It was 81 million. The shit went crazy. To me, I felt like it's a human sacrifice, because the racially motivated energy behind a black woman being killed by the white cop in her fucking house by being shot in the fucking face is going to fuel a predictable racial response in this fucking country from black and white people. Some white people are going to go, well, a cop is a cop. Let the man do his job. She shouldn't have tried to throw in the water. Some white people do that. And other white people, especially if they want to prove that they are not like the evil white people with the prejudice and the racist shit, they love to go fucking help black people go do their shit. But it's energy nonetheless. You harvest energy when you have this predictable response from people, black and white, in this country. When you look at race, gun control, what that happened to the kids, when you do that shit, there's a predictable response to it, that they can monetize that. They literally harness the energy from you. Whatever you did to work for that money when you donated to Kamala Harris's bullshit, major funding outlets, or by the people. However she got that money, is probably a mix of the two things. I don't give a fuck. She's a fucking liar. But when she did that shit, she knew that the death of that woman is going to generate this fucking spell that they cast on the people, that they can harness your energy. They literally, why am I frozen here? Am I still frozen here? Can y'all even hear me at all, or what? Maybe somebody's calling me. Hold on. I can't even see what's going on here. Sheila Jackson Lee. The day before, that's crazy. Yo, can people still hear me? I'm at the end of this live stream because I see my screen is frozen, and I don't know if that's just how it's going to be or what. But let me end this live stream because I'm late for work anyway. Let me get my ass to work. But let me say this, though. They know how to harness energy. Yeah, the screen is frozen, but you can't hear me? Okay, that's crazy. All right, I'm going to end this live stream anyway because I got to get my ass to work. Just know that they literally harness energy. It's like Shang Tsung, I think that's his name, is the Mortal Kombat character that eats the souls. Oh, it might be, yeah, you say the phone might be hot in my windshield, but the sun ain't even shining right on my phone right now. I'm actually in a shaded place, and my phone feels nice and cool too. Usually when it does that to me, it in the whole fucking thing and cut my phone off. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, they harness energy. If there was a visual representation of this, you would see a giant. You would see a giant image of Kamala Harris rise above the fucking horizon, eyes glowing green, and her hands go out and go and suck all of the fucking money from these fucking deaths around her announcing that she's going to make this presidential run. You see all of the green power of the fucking money go into her hands, and she gives this evil laugh and then disappears into the mist of the fucking sky in the fucking clouds and shit. This is what I feel in my mind, what I see when this bitch says that, and then raises $81 million in 24 hours or more. And that's wild. I think these human deaths help fuel that, so that the funding goes crazy. I don't like them. I don't gotta like them. All of this shit is weird, and all you gotta do is just be honest about this shit, and ask yourself, is this shit okay with you or not? Just ask yourself. If it's okay with you, then go on about your day. If it's not okay with you, you then have to start making some motion to do something to stop it, even if you don't see that this is going to be reconciled in your lifetime. If it takes 100 years to fix what government has broken, start today. That 100-year journey is going to start today, and I don't care how cliche that sounds. It's the absolute fucking truth. You're never going to get to it if a daunting task uh, um, has that effect on you that you say that you would rather fall back than to accept the challenge and get the ball rolling on an endeavor like that. I think the freedom is always worth fighting for. I don't give a fuck what the battle looks like or how long it takes. Just fight for the shit. I don't know, man. I think we get what we deserve, and that's what we're dealing with. Watching everybody get what it is that they deserve. The universe won't do anything to you that you have not set into place to allow to be a true manifestation of reality. You have to put those things into place or else it won't be here. Cause and effect. Everything is an effect of a cause. Learn how to be the cause and not the effect, because you guys are doing a whole lot of responding and reacting. And it's predictable because they set the stage in their way so that they can know that when they say jump, you're going to jump. You're going to jump the proper to the proper position and with a smile on your face, because you've given up your freedom in lieu of security when you don't even have either one now. That's what you have. No freedom and no security. Fuck them. RPM Trey Vietnam and this bitch. Wu Bang, get a fucking gun today. Stop being a bitch and a pussy, because if you're going to be that, they're going to play you like that. And if they play you like that, I'm going to call you that, because the job is done. You guys have been successfully pussified. Don't let it happen. Stop letting this shit happen. The masses do get what they deserve. Later, y'all. Peace and love, man. I love y'all, man.